Alright, AEW Dynamite starts off with a Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega promo. Starts off with Will Ospreay. He ends up saying that a lot has changed since Kenny Omega has been gone and that he has nothing to do with the Don Callis family. He's not the same guy. And that he keeps running into the Don Callis family and he can't fight them on his own. And he basically was trying to allude to getting Kenny Omega's help. Kenny Omega ends up responding back.
We faced each other in a ring, but Will, let me remind you, it was Forbidden Door.
They had a Forbidden Door where Will Ospreay stabbed him, and he ends up saying that, look, he understands why he did it because he was trying to prove that he was better than him, but he wasn't better than him then, and he isn't better than him now, and that he ends up saying that it took him being gone for fans to realize who he is, and that now that he's back, Will Ospreay is not the number one, he's the number two now, and that he's back, that Kenny Omega is back being the number one. Then he ends up saying that he doesn't trust Will Ospreay, he never would trust Will Ospreay, and that he doesn't accept his apology. Then you end up getting Don Callis. You get Don Callis, he comes out, Kenny Omega tries to attack him, but then you end up getting the Don Callis family, they come out, they end up attacking Kenny Omega. Will Ospreay at first didn't want to help. Well, he was not. At first, he wasn't helping, but then he ends up helping. Then it's turned into a 8-minute brawl between the Don Callis family and Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, which is ridiculous, which I'm about to get into. They end up going in the crowd. They went backstage. They're going through tables. They're jumping off the little rail. I don't even know what to call it, but the rail that's in the crowd. They're doing all of these spots and they're brawling for 8 minutes. Then you end up getting towards the end, basically, of the long brawl that shouldn't have been that long, where Kenny Omega ends up saying that he was wrong about Will Ospreay. He trusts him now, and that they're going to have a tag match at Grand Slam against Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita. Okay, why? Look, I will say this. The promo was great. The promo actually had me invested. It had me hooked. This was great. Until they messed it up with the dumb brawl that lasted way too long. Why did we need this 8-minute brawl just to get to the tag match? You could have done this in less time. And then the thing that ruined it for me was Kenny Omega saying that he trusts Will Ospreay all of a sudden. Why do you trust him? You literally just said in the promo that you would never trust Will Ospreay. Then he comes out, then you trust him now. And I know some idiot is going to be like, well, he helped him tonight. He protected him. He fought against the Don Callis family. He did that last week. Last week in Kenny Omega's return, Will Ospreay came and fought the Don Callis family. He did the same thing he's been doing. There's literally no difference. So why all of a sudden now that that ruined it for me? It's like there's no difference between last week and this week. It's the same thing. The only difference is that this week the brawl was longer. That's literally the only difference. So now you trust it. I don't understand why did they revert back so quickly. Like I said, the promo was great. I was actually invested. I was invested into the story, even though they shouldn't be in this story to begin with. Kenny Omega should be focused on the Elite, but of course the Elite not there. But I was actually invested. The promo was great, and then they ruined it with the 8-minute brawl, and then Kenny Omega saying that all of a sudden he now trusts Will Ospreay. Like what? I'm assuming they're gonna play the story of can they coexist storyline and them beating the Don Callis family, but that just ruined the whole opening segment. I was just like, why? Like, it started off great, and then it just completely went downhill. It was like, oh my God. And then from the rest of the show, it just gets worse from here. I actually had hope. AEW tricked me. I actually had hope. And then they completely buried all the hope that I have had for this show. After this, we end up getting the Hurt Syndicate versus Private Party. I am not going to speak about this match. Hurt Syndicate dominate. It's that simple. They're your new AEW Tag Team Champions. Private Party are officially buried. This is a real example of someone actually getting buried, because people throw that word out a lot. This is an actual example of a person or tag team actually getting buried. I have no hope for Bobby Lashley and them because the tag team division doesn't even exist in AEW. I can't even name 3 tag teams that are actually active. I know you have FTR, Private Party, and then Top Flight, but outside of them, well, you have the Outrunners. The Acclaim are no more. They just recently broke up. Unless you're finna have Anthony Bowens and Billy Gunn be a tag team. But for the most part, majority of the tag teams haven't even been on Dynamite. They've been on Collision doing nothing. So, yeah, I have zero hopes for this. But Private Party are officially buried. And it's ridiculous how they booked them. They booked them so poorly with the titles. They even booked them poorly towards the build-up of the titles, if I'm being honest. Because they ended up having to lose to the Young Bucks on a pay-per-view just for them to win on Dynamite, which was stupid. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin are your new tag team champions. After this, though, we end up getting Jeff Jarrett. I'm gonna really not speak too much about this. Basically, Jeff Jarrett ended up telling some long story about how basically that you should never stoop to the level of your enemy. Mitch alluding to MJF, alluding to the things he said last week. Basically, he ends up saying that he went a little too far. He should never went to the level of MJF. Then he ends up saying that, well, afterwards, he ends up calling out Moxley because he wants to talk about a world title opportunity. But then Claudio comes out instead and ends up attacking Jeff Jarrett. Claudio ends up saying that in order to get to Jeff Jarrett, you got to go through him. Jeff Jarrett gets back on the microphone and he ends up basically saying that if he beats Claudio next week, he gets a title shot. Claudio accepts. So next week, we're going to have this match, which I'm hoping that they have Claudio destroy Jeff Jarrett. Because for whatever reason, I have this weird feeling that Tony Khan is going to have Jeff Jarrett somehow win, even though he shouldn't, but somehow he's going to find a way to win. But hopefully, they just have him get demolished, and that's the end of that storyline, because we do not need Jeff Jarrett getting close to the AEW World Championship. Afterwards, we get Swerve versus AR Fox. Yeah, I know, AR Fox, right? Remember him? Yeah. I'm not going to speak about this match either. Ricochet ends up coming out, tries to interfere, but Prince Nana ends up chasing him out. But Swerve still ends up picking up the victory anyway with the interference, so his interference was really pointless. Afterwards, you end up getting Ricochet. He ends up popping up on the Titantron. He has Prince Nana hostage. And he basically ends up saying that next week you all would allow me to get the thing. Basically, he's saying that next week he's going to get what he wanted to get off his chest last week, basically. Okay. I don't understand what they was going for here. For one, why is AR Fox and Swerve happening? I saw on Instagram some idiot was trying to talk in the comment section about, well, this match makes sense because of their history from years ago. No. The story, it doesn't make sense. This is just a random match that they just put here just so they could progress the story of Ricochet and Swerve, even though it didn't progress the story at all. Like, why is AR Fox and Swerve fighting? AR Fox hasn't been on Dynamite in who knows how long. The last time I remember him on Dynamite was him being in a storyline with Darby Allin, Nick Wayne, and the whole Christian fiasco. That's a lot of time I remember him being on Dynamite. Other than that, I haven't seen him since. Has he even been on Collision for all we know? Maybe he has, but this match shouldn't even exist if I'm being honest. Then you have Ricochet interfering to try to cost him the match, even though he didn't cost him the match. So his interference was pointless. And now I know someone will say, well, they did that so that could lead to him holding Prince Nana hostage. Okay, fine. But my argument would be that he didn't need to hold Prince Nana hostage in order to cut the promo that he did. Because what he basically ended up saying was that basically next week, the fans will listen to what I have to say. That's basically what he said. He didn't say anything of importance. He didn't attack Prince Nana. So there was really no need for Prince Nana to be held hostage. He could have just tried. He could have easily had that promo, had that segment, had that whatever, him being on the Titantron without holding Prince Nana hostage. It didn't progress the story at all. You could have got the same outcome if you had him interfere in the match, cost him the match, then popped up on Titantron, and then cut the same. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys let me know, but it just didn't make sense. It was so stupid. Then afterwards, we get a MJF promo, very short MJF promo, not going to go over too long. Basically, what he ends up saying is that he tried to help. Well, the reasoning for him trying to help Jeff Jarrett become world champion was that he thought he'll be an easy target to manipulate, and that when he wins the championship, he felt like he'll be easy to beat. And then he ends up saying that soon enough, Jeff Jarrett will realize that he should have accepted his offer. Then afterwards, we end up getting Hangman Adam Page. He comes out, and him and MJF have a little stare down because MJF interrupted Hangman, I guess. That's what they said. I don't know how, but he did. MJF leaves the ring. Then you end up getting Christopher Daniels. They recently had a Texas death match. He comes out in a neck brace. He ends up basically saying that, look, Hangman was right. He ends up apologizing to Hangman for the way he's been treating him, even though he hasn't treated him poorly. Basically, he's saying that he should have tried to come to help Hangman in a different way, and that he looks at Hangman as a friend, and that he ends up mentioning how Hangman ended his career, that he can't wrestle anymore, and that Hangman got the last laugh. But you end up seeing Hangman face he end up having like a more angry face at the beginning, but towards the end of the promo, he start having more of a sad face. It looks like they're turning Hangman babyface, which is so dumb. Hangman was putting on some of the best work of his career, being a heel. Now we're turning him babyface because of Christopher Daniels of all people. Look, I understand Christopher Daniels. I understand he has a great wrestling career with the things he's done in other promotions. I get that, but why? Why? Are you serious? And this story makes no sense at all, because for whatever reason, they have Christopher Daniels being basically sucking up to Hangman, even though Christopher Daniels, storyline-wise, done nothing wrong. He hasn't done anything wrong. Hangman is the one that's out of control. So all of a sudden, I don't get, I'm not even going to speak about it because this is just stupid. I'm just going to, this is just dumb. I don't think I really need to explain why this is dumb and why it's dumb to turn Hangman babyface. Because I don't understand what that does for him. What does turning him babyface do? Genuinely, what does that do? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But I'm just going to move on. Afterwards, we end up getting Julia Hart versus Jamie Hayter. They have another match, which was very boring. The crowd was dead for this match. I ain't going to lie. Jamie Hayter picks up the victory. They're easily going to have a third match, and we're going to see who wins that third match. I have no interest in this feud at all because this feud is dumb. We still don't know why Julia Hart attacked Jamie Hayter. We still got no answers on that. Shocker, right? Still got no answers on that. So, yeah. I doubt we ever get an answer on why she attacked Jamie Hayter. So, yeah. We'll see who wins that third match. I honestly don't care because no woman benefits from this, if we're being honest. Then we get the main event. Adam Copeland versus Pac. Adam Copeland picks up the victory. Now, I was shocked on how Adam Copeland won because he won off of a cutter. Now, I understand he hit a spear before he hit the cutter, but I was still shocked that he won off of a cutter. He wins. Adam Copeland wins the match. Then you end up getting the Death Riders. They pop up on the Titantron. They have FTR and duct tape. They have duct tape cover their mouth, duct tape all over their body. They're in chairs, basically holding them hostage. Then they end up having the Rock and Roll Express, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what they're called. John Moxley ended up hitting one of them with a chair. They end up having, guys laying down flat on a chair, smash his head in. Then they come to the ring, basically attack Adam Copeland as very predictable as it is. Then you get Jay White comes out. He tries to fight them, but then he ends up getting outnumbered, and then that's the end of the segment with the Death Riders standing tall. I'm not even gonna rant about this because I rant about this plenty of times, but boring, predictable, very played out. The story needs to end. I don't care who ends it. I don't care who beats John Moxley at this point. Just end this story. It's so dumb. I don't understand why Jay White came out there. And what is up with Wheeler Yuta constantly getting the advantage on Jay White? This is like the third time I've seen Wheeler Yuta constantly taking out Jay White. It's ridiculous. Like come on, bro. Just end this story. It's not going to end anytime soon. Whoever's booking these, whether it's John Moxley or Tony Khan, needs needs some type of punishment. It's ridiculous. I'm just going to end the review here because this story, I just can't take it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your opinions down below. But yeah, that's it. I'm done.